Okay, in this video I'll be doing a review on a dash cam supplied by TrueGuard. I've done a review on the GPS tracker in the past, and I've always had good service from them, so I've decided to review the camera as well. This was the original camera that I purchased, and as you can see it's no longer available. If you have a look on the top right corner, prices started at $28 and they went up to $41 depending on the type of SD card you got. So I'll go back and scroll down. Here they have two additional listings, so I'll go into one of them. They have it listed at $28. This is a price now, so please be aware that prices may vary in a few months or years from now. We'll have a look at some screenshots. So in this video we'll have a look at its different functions and its performance in different light conditions. And I'll also take you through setup and installation. I'll have a link to the website in the description if you wanted to have a look. This is what came in the box. You have a mounting suction cup, the camera, you don't get the SD card anymore, you get a USB cable, a manual, and a power cable that plugs into your cigarette lighter. Now, in fairness to the camera, I would just like to point out a problem I have with visibility in my car. I get a lot of reflection onto the windshield from this flat dashboard, and it's worse in bright sunlight. Some of the recordings look grainy and washed out, and this is probably the main reason for it. This is a recording when sunlight is behind the camera. You can see road signs, but you can't read number plates when vehicles are moving. And the main reason behind that is the camera shoots at 25 frames per second, and while that takes up less memory, it gives you less detail. But in the event of an accident, you can still see car makes and models clearly. This is a recording in bright sunlight, and it looks pretty clear. Now, from the price that you're paying, it's obviously not the best camera out there, but in saying that, I was impressed by how well it performed. You're paying for a 1080p HD camera with some pretty useful features which I'll go through with you. Something with similar functions and performance will probably sell from around $80 to $120, so this is definitely good value for money. This camera records in 1080p, and to save space you have the option to record in 720p, but then you'll have reduced resolution, so personally I would just leave it on 1080. As you can see, you get a good view of surroundings, and that's because you have a wide 120-degree viewing angle. So here we're having a look on how well the camera performs in changing light conditions, and we're going from bright to dark, and as you can see there's a bit of reflection off the dashboard. So yeah, you can see that it can adjust pretty quickly. Another feature is the camera can take photos with 5 megapixel resolution, which would be pretty handy if you wanted to take photos of an accident if you didn't have your phone, or if you wanted to have additional backup. And now going from dark to bright, and again no problems there. The camera takes a class 10 microSD card. The largest size you can have is 32 gigabytes, and that gives you about 190 minutes or just over 3 hours of recording time. You have the option to record in 1, 2 or 3 minute segments. This is the camera in low light conditions. Most cameras struggle here. You have the sun setting, so the sky is still bright but surroundings are darker. But again, no major problems. You can still see other cars and road markings and signs pretty clearly. Now with recording, you have a continuous recording option, and it does that by recording over the oldest segment. If you don't turn that function on, the camera will stop recording when the SD card is full. And now we're in complete darkness. The camera can still pick up road markings and surroundings reasonably well, but it's not perfect. So you've seen that the recordings look very stable, and that's because the camera has an anti-shaking function which you can turn on and off. And now we're going to a lit highway. You can see pretty good detail here, but the lights look a bit fuzzy. And now we're driving in town at night. You can still see some good detail, but things get quite fuzzy around street lights and car lights. About its physical size, it's 6.4 by 3.8 centimeters, and it's 1.6 centimeters thick. So the camera is quite small, so it doesn't take up too much space on your windscreen. It also has a 1.5-inch LCD screen. Another useful feature this camera has is a G sensor. You can select either from 2G, 4G or 8G. And the way that works is that in the event of an accident, the camera and the vehicle will undergo high G-forces. So that particular clip will be saved and not looped over. When you have a look at your SD card, that 3-minute segment will be saved in a different folder. The camera also has a built-in microphone, and this is what the microphone sounds like. You can hear a bit of road noise, but it's not too bad. The camera also has a motion detection function, so it starts recording when there's movement. This only works when the camera's on, so it doesn't come on when your car's parked and the camera's turned off. If you really wanted to record while parked, you can switch your camera on. It has a 3.7 volt, 300 milliamp built-in battery, and it should stay continuously recording for up to 40 minutes without a power supply. And now I'll talk about installing it. Ideally I wanted to put it closer to the rear view mirror, but this dotted material doesn't have any adhesion to it, so this was the best place I could put it. So start by looping the wire around the mirror, and now you should be able to push the wire into the headliner. Now I'll put the wire behind this panel. You can either pull the panel right off, or you could pull the panel towards you and push the wire in. And now you can push this into the dashboard panel as well. And I'll pull it into this clip here, and we'll pull it down, and now you can plug it in, and there you go, the light is on and the camera's going. It's easy as that. Now I've had a look at some other features some more expensive cameras come with, just to get a comparison. So some useful features this camera doesn't have is that it doesn't have GPS tracking, it doesn't have Wi-Fi connectivity, it doesn't have infrared for better night recording, and it doesn't have auto recording when the camera's off. But if you wanted all these features, you'd be paying $300 plus. So overall, I found this camera to be very good. It offers quite a few features that some more expensive cameras have at a fraction of the price. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.